I believe everyone has encountered when registering an account on some websites. It prompts that the environment is risky and cannot be registered, or cross-border e-commerce matrix accounts are often restricted and blocked. In addition to the problem of the proxy IP itself, it may also be due to the presence of a browser on the website. Fingerprint detection. Being identified as one user using multiple accounts at the same time causes risk control problems. In this issue, we will talk about how to avoid such problems as much as possible. From a biological point of view, fingerprints are the lines at the end of the fingers. The characteristics of these lines are unique, so your identity can be determined by comparing fingerprints. Fingerprints are also found in the computer field and are widely used to verify the integrity of data. It can also be used to identify your unique identity. When using a browser to surf the internet, fingerprint detection problems may occur, especially on some websites with relatively high risk control levels. If you don't pay attention, your account may be risk controlled. Even if you are not an ordinary user doing cross-border business, you should also pay attention to the personal privacy issues caused by fingerprint tracking. How to log in and manage multiple accounts through the browser. Take Facebook as an example. When you enter facebook.com in the address bar and press enter, the browser will request the website content from Facebook's server. The request will carry some relevant information about the machine for the server to refer to, such as the version of the operating system, the type of the browser, and the language of the system. We can use F12 to call up the developer panel of the browser and view this information in the request. After Facebook receives your request, knowing your IP address and knowing that you are a Chinese Windows user using the Chrome browser, we will return Chinese web page content to you. For ease of understanding, we assume that the content of this string of characters is the account number and password. The browser will save it, and in subsequent requests to access this website, in addition to the operating system version, browser type, system language, and other information, it will also carry this string of characters called cookie. After Facebook gets the cookie, if it successfully matches your account information, it means that you are currently logged in and can use the functions of the website normally. As we just said, the browser will carry cookies in the request to maintain the login status, so we can log out of the current account by clearing the cookies saved by the browser. After logging out, you can log in to another account, but a browser the server can only log in to one account at a time. It will greatly affect the efficiency of cross-border people. If you want to operate two accounts at the same time, you can use incognito mode. When using incognito mode to open Facebook, cookies saved by the browser in normal mode will not be obtained. The two are isolated from each other, so you can log in to another account in the incognito window, so that you can use normal mode and incognito mode to log in and manage two accounts at the same time. What should I do if I want to log in to a third account at this time? Some friends think to open another incognito window, but multiple incognito windows opened by a browser user are actually linked. You can see that when you visit Facebook, you will be logged in directly. Because the cookie is shared with the first incognito window, the data between multiple incognito windows is not independent of each other. There is a problem at this time. We currently have 3 browser users, and the IP address of each browser user is the same. The website knows which IP the account uses. If multiple accounts use the same IP, there may be problems. So we also need to configure different proxy IPs for each browser and user. We seem to have solved the problem of using multiple accounts at the same time, but we have ignored that as a cross-border person, you may need to manage accounts in multiple regions at the same time. You can set the proxy IP of the corresponding region for the browser, but each browser is Chinese. Yes. The server sees that the account browser with an IP address of the United States uses Chinese. This is unreasonable, so you also need to change the browser language to English. But it is not enough to solve the language problem. The request will carry some relevant information about the machine for server reference, such as operating system version, browser type, and system language. But it does not mean that it can only carry this information. For example, graphics card information, CPU information, memory information, screen resolution, browser kernel, fonts, time zone, plugins, etc. This information is the fingerprint of your computer browser. As long as I'm using the same computer and the same browser kernel, most of the information is still the same. Therefore, it is not surprising that the same fingerprint is calculated. If multiple accounts are detected with the same fingerprint, then it is judged to be the same user. The above problems can be solved by using Fingerprint Browser. Fingerprint Browser is also an indispensable tool for cross-border people. It can set independent IP, independent cookie, independent environment, and independent fingerprint. Any information that may be associated can be modified accordingly to achieve a completely isolated account environment. So the Fingerprint Browser is also called an anti-association browser. The principle is to redevelop the open-source kernel of Chrome or Firefox browsers, change the originally hard-coded fingerprint-related parameter methods into configurable variable forms, and then simulate different browser environments according to different parameters provided by the user, thereby generating different browser fingerprints to achieve account environment isolation. Take BitBrowser as an example. First, enter this website to register an account. You can use your mobile phone number or email address to register an account. After registration, click here to download the browser corresponding to the system. After downloading, double-click the installation package to install it. Enter the account password you just registered. Log in and you will enter the management interface of the Fingerprint Browser. Currently, we have a free account and can use 10 environments for free forever, which is enough for ordinary users. We click on the browser window and click Create Window. It is recommended that everyone use the latest kernel. User Agent can disguise the operating system. You can also insert cookies into the browser. Then you can set an independent proxy IP for the browser. The default is direct even. You can choose the account platform you want to operate. The bottom is the advanced settings. The settings here are mainly related to fingerprints to make the environment more realistic. For example, time zone and language can be automatically set according to the location of the proxy IP. It is recommended that these options be directly generated randomly by the system. Yes, you can also click one button to randomly generate fingerprint configuration. Click OK and click to open the window. You can see relevant information here such as language, time zone, etc. Let's create another environment. The creation method is still the same. You can see that the fingerprints of the two environments are different. At this time, you can manage accounts in different regions in two completely isolated environments. There is no difference between the two accounts. Any association, this is the main role of Fingerprint Browser. There are also many practical functions. For example, you can install various plugins like a browser or use RPA to perform some automated operations. In addition, the main function of the Fingerprint Browser is to isolate the environment. The server may also perform other detections, such as registration. Whether the mobile phone number and credit card information themselves are risky can be effectively isolated through the browser. One of the core features of BitBrowser is advanced isolation. Each Fingerprint Browser instance is designed as an independent environment. This separation allows each account to run in an independent and secure environment without being affected by others. Account interference. Each Fingerprint Browser's digital identity is unique. The high degree of isolation of BitBrowser enables each user to have a unique identity. Each Fingerprint Browser instance has its own independent browser settings, cookies, and IP address, allowing each user's account to exist independently. This uniqueness means that users do not have to worry about account association or data leakage. For more operation procedures of Fingerprint Browser, you can view previous videos on my channel. All cross-border people are welcome to leave messages and interact in the comment area.